inexplicably, like the past few times I've been out there, there's some schmuck with bagpipes. And I've seen him, like I had to find him. I was like, where is he? You just hear this, and I'm like, it's like a Scooby-Doo episode, like the ghost of bagpipe there off of the trail. And so we go, and it was just this guy in like a smelly t-shirt just practicing bagpipes. And I really went up to him, and I'm like, seriously, why? And he was like, because my wife won't let me do it in the house. Thank you. Your wife and I would get along, sir.
Okay, mine is that screeching before, you know, the collision part.
Oh.
God, it just freaks me out.
Because it's not so much the sound, you can feel it coming.
Yes. And everything goes slow motion, and yeah, that just is so chilling. It's chilling for me in film and any kind of soundscape. It's effective. I also got blasted with a really high dB decibel blast of like inhuman sound that damaged my ears. So that's that. So now anything like plates clinging together, certain frequencies just kind of go right through your body when you've got a little bit of ear damage. But my fast favorite sound I hate the most is people freaking talking on their cell phone so loud in the middle of a department store. I mean, for God's sake, it's so strange to me. I'll just walk up and be like, yeah, you want to tell him that I said hi too? And they're like, oh, the crazy lady alert, I'll call you back.
You know what? I love the crazy ladies that do that. Just walk up to someone and say, yeah, we know.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
I like you.
I'm the one that goes up to the... Oh, thank you.
I hate it.
I don't put up
Especially
with
in a
it.
bookstore. I'm like, it's a bookstore. I'll just run up to someone and be like, hey, nobody gives a damn. And walk away. Or I'll follow them around, and like one person was just like on the phone. I swear to God, he was like, we're going to the parking lot where I used to work a long time ago. And he's just on the phone, and it was just like 2 minutes of yeah. It's like speaking some weird language that has one word. And so I had like a water bottle or a Coke can or something in my hand, and I'm just laughing because I'm stuck behind him walking down this narrow corridor to the parking lot. And I'm like, yeah. And I was syncopating it, so he was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna make music out of this. And he turned around, and I'm like, Coke can. And he started laughing and just kind of let me walk on.
I have another confession. I have to confess, I don't just limit it to adults screaming on their phones. It's screaming children in markets, screaming, misbehaving, out of control children that their parents are afraid of.
Sorry, that was me.
Yeah. That whole screaming, I want to, mocker. I go over, I'm sorry?
What do you do when the kid cries?
You see, that's what you sound like. They don't cry. Children, if you give children the line and you say, this is inappropriate, and you stand up to them, they respect it. They have a lot of respect for it. I mean, I was a teacher for 15 years, so I mean, I had a great fun with my kids, but I didn't put up with any crap. So if you just if you're assertive and you're direct, and you get on their level and you communicate directly to them, and it's not a game, and you're not, messing with their minds, but you're saying, yeah, that's what you sound like. That's pretty embarrassing. Why don't you go on over to the book section and just chill? Like they'll stop. It's the parents that freak out, of course. The kids stop. Yeah. Don't be afraid to raise your children and give them limits. Hero.
I got time for one more, so I'm going to go with, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt? Start anywhere you'd like.
I actually got asked this question the other day, so I have my answer. I always thought that being a tour guide would be fun. You know, like you know, they have them in Rome. I've actually hired them in Rome, or you know, taking people around or touring them. I even considered being a tour guide at Universal Studios at one point when I was out of work.
Well,
but,
many of us
but I
yes.
couldn't take the cut and pay. But touring, taking people to places I love and touring them around and getting paid to do that, I think that would have been.
My best friend was in France a couple of years ago, and she had we have friends who live in Paris, and they were taking her around all the touristy areas, and at the end of the trip, it was like, you know, watching you get so excited about this made us actually look at this in a different way, because we've grown up here, we've seen this every day of our lives, and now we're looking at the Arc de Triomphe, we're looking at the Eiffel Tower very differently than we did before you showed up and gave us a new appreciation for it.
Yeah, so I like to travel, so that's what I like.
Totally sign up for your tour.
Yeah.
I'm kind of along the same lines, but I'd want my own travel show. Like, I want to Anthony Bourdain it, only without the cooking, because I can't cook. But I want to be able to like travel different places and teach people. I'm like, look at this cool, awesome thing they do here. Okay, now let's go over here and look at this cool, awesome thing. I just think that'd be fun. All the traveling.
That's awesome.
That's a good answer.
Travel Channel, here I come.
Dude, I was gonna say Kitty, but I want yours.
We can do it together.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be so much fun.
Okay, before you start, let's have a talk about that thing.
What thing?
Never mind.
What thing?
You got to stop doing that. You just pointed to all of me. Any How to Train Your Dragon fans in there?
I'm lost.
What was the question? I have an answer. I actually was very almost both of these things, but I didn't. I would love to one day pick it back up. Get my phone, shut up. Oh my God, someone else answered. God, I thought I turned it off.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'd like to do some sort of like ocean exploring, like the ruins of like cities that have gone underwater, or like shipwrecks and stuff like that. It seems like, you know, there's a lot of the ocean that's not really explored, and you know, it seems mysterious. But I didn't want to drown, or be crushed by the pressure.
Want to go down and pressurize tin can.
I'd rather a robot goes down and, you know, I can.
And you just watch the monitor and stare like a video game.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends how deep it is. You know, if it's scuba level, then that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You get to explore it yourself, but I don't want to die. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, French sharks seem totally okay with me. You know, they don't bite and have nice mustaches.
Very laid back. You just have to start shouting at them in German and they'll lay off. What? 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 Oh, they're actually a very tough country for 800 or so years, and they've won one war. They get a bad rap for being, what's the phrase, cheese-eating surrender monkeys? Which is awful, but that's kind of good. That's a good insult, but no. What were we talking about? No, all those things are really, really awesome. I'm the sort of person that just wants to like live everywhere, experience everything, because I'm just, where I grew up with my family especially, you were never allowed to be bored, because there was just no, my grandmother's favorite saying was that bored is just the
absence of
just a euphemism for lazy.
Oh, okay.
And it really is, because if you're like, oh, I'm bored, it's like, really? Then get off your butt and do something. There's so many things out there to do. So I just built up this passion, but two things I would really love to do at one point, for very personal reasons, and I almost did. I really like to be an architect, because I love there's so many facets of what architecture can mean that I'm drawn to, that I'm just fascinated by the way it can affect city planning and the lives of the people living in it or outside of it or whatever. I'm all about the way we shape the spaces we live in and what that says about us as people and the way it can change who you are. So I'm a fanatic for that sort of thing, and I would love to create buildings and things like that. And who knows, maybe one day someone will let me. But or I'd be a recital pianist, which I very nearly was. But I'm so painfully shy. When it comes to my music, which is really funny. I mean, when I'm in front of a bunch of people, I have no compunction about making an ass of myself. I have no filter, as you've all noticed, I'm sure. But when it comes to, I dropped out of conservatory because I could not. I was so incredibly nervous playing music in front of people. something I'd done since I was 6 years old, that once I had to do it professionally, I could not. And I would love to, at some point in my life, kind of get over that hurdle and be able to play for complete strangers, you know, an arena of them the way I can play for close friends and the people that I love. And that would be really, what's that? Yeah. What did I just say?
But you know
But we all love you.
I know it now. Yeah, no, you know me. I have no idea. You have told me nothing about
you
yourself.
enough to never laugh at you to your face.
Maybe if I get really, really blasted, but no. But I would love to do it. That's a personal goal of mine, is to one day get comfortable with it. So I would love, and hey, if I was a recital pianist and really awesome at it, I'd get to travel a lot. So there's like killing two birds with one stone right there. So.
Yeah. My turn?
Absolutely.
I am also interested in ancient ruins and artifacts, and I could easily have made a life focus of archaeoastronomy, which is a study of sort of an alternative science that delves deeply into ancient records and ruins and putting the timeline of our ancient history together and challenges our current historical timeline. So I'm into an alternative science sort of angle of archaeoastronomy. And I would love to like go and do some of the oceanography and see Yonaguni, the ruins off of Japan.
Yeah, I'd love to go there too.
I would love to go there. I'd love to go to Turkey and spend time. But it all starts in Egypt, y'all. Back to Egypt. Egypt's ruins, Turkey, Guatemala, Indonesia, I'm blanking right now, Angkor Wat, all of that stuff. And these things tie together. They're all laid out geometrically around the planet that mark the subtle energies of the ley lines and the stuff that anime talks about all the time. Crystal energy and alternative sciences and, you know, all that freaky stuff.
And, you know, so many people watch these series and they just see these theories that are presented there. It's like, oh, they just made it up for the show. It's like, no, they really didn't. They came from somewhere.
Oh, it does, yeah. And you know, there's a whole collective group of scientists that are challenging this historic timeline of the planet and saying that we are a people with amnesia because of lost records from previous, the pre-Diluvian stuff that's been lost in the ancient archives, everything we lost in the library in Alexandria, which was the collective of Earth's records of our origins. And then of course, you know, there's a little thing with the conquistadors and burning everything that, there's some problems with our historic
Don't you feel awful?
Thanks for ravaging the Philippines.
All right, well, I want to thank all you guys for coming out. I absolutely want to thank our guests.
Signing, I have to run this panel for. So, Michael.